What I have here is the January 2019 Beckett Baseball, and I picked this one up because I saw it was a special 1980s issue, and in here are Beckett's top 80 cards of the 80s, and here's sort of a collage of a vast majority of them, if not all of them, right there. And it gets right into it. So a lot of familiar faces here, a lot of iconic cards. Number one being the Griffey, 84 Donruss Don Mattingly there. A little blurb about each one and to why that was put in here, but this also would make an interesting registry set if somebody wanted to submit this, the Beckett top 80 of the 80s. A lot of us already have most of these cards. So it kind of goes through, and again, you're going to see a lot of iconic cards detailed here. And also what they have is an article on Topps Tiffany cards, which is interesting. Kind of breaks down Tiffany versus regular. Talks about the yellowing of the Tiffany cards, which I have a couple that show that, especially on 85 Topps, they said. You see it more often than other years. So here's that article on Tiffany, and there's what else we got going on here. Interview with Don Mattingly. It's definitely old school. It takes me back to when I used to buy Beckett or Baseball Cards magazine regularly. It had really good editorial content like this. And there's also another top list. Oh, here's a Confessions of an F-Face Collector. I guess this is the guy who probably has the most F-Face cards. So it talks about all the different variations of that card. Again, another classic 80s baseball card. And there's top 15, I think it is, minor league cards. 15 of the greatest minor league cards of the 80s. They have that, and these are really cool. I have this one. There's, what's that? John Smoltz, Frank Thomas, Maddox, Johnson, Cal Ripken, Clemens. So, yeah. Top 15 minor league cards here. And then the hot list. Looks like Mike Trout is still number one. You can see it here. This doesn't really mean much. And then you get into this. Basically, I mean, this is just a complete waste of paper. I guess except for the advertisers, but in this price guide really functions for me nothing more than a checklist, I would say. But anyway, worth the price of admission just to get the top 80 of the 80s, and then the other stuff that's in here is pretty cool. So I encourage you to check it out if you are part of that generation like myself. And that's it. Up next for me on the docket is a new episode of Friday Night Vintage, but that won't be until probably next Friday. And probably my last video like that for the year. I'm going to go out with a bang. So stay tuned for that. But for this, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.